What if a stadium sat higher than a mountain? Today, we're taking you to stadiums where altitude becomes a weapon and the biggest challenge for visiting teams. On some of these grounds, players literally reach for oxygen just to catch their breath. Ahead of us is mainly South America, the natural kingdom of football played among the clouds with one stop in Asia along the way. It will be high, sometimes ridiculously high, so a head rush is guaranteed. Let's get started. StadiumDB.com presents Highest Altitude Stadiums in the World. We begin with Estadio Mushuc, Runa, located in the mountain community of Echaleche within the Ambato canton. The setting is already impressive, as the ground lies at about 3,252 meters above sea level, making it the highest-placed football stadium in Ecuador. Construction was completed at the end of 2018, with the official inauguration on November 17th of the same year. Estadio Huancayo is a multi-use stadium in the Peruvian city of Huancayo, standing at 3,259 meters. The venue holds 20,000 spectators and has long served above all football, being the home of Sport Huancayo and other local teams tied to the city. Architecturally, it is not particularly complex. It has one covered stand and 4 floodlights. The stadium in Huancayo was opened in 1962. 13th place is reserved for Estadio Inca Garcilaso de la Vega. It is the main stadium of Cusco and the home of 3 clubs from the Peruvian top division. The arena opened in 1958 at 3,362 meters and is now owned by the Instituto Peruano del Deporte. Its biggest expansion came ahead of Copa America 2004, when capacity grew from about 22,000 to over 42,000 seats, although newer sources often list it at around 45,000. Later plans for another major modernization, including full roofing and new suites, turned out far more limited than originally envisioned, so the stadium ended up receiving mainly cosmetic upgrades. 12th place belongs to Estadio Hernando Siles in the Miraflores district of La Paz, Bolivia's largest stadium with more than 41,000 seats. It was opened on January 16, 1930 and remains the home of 2 giants of Bolivian football, Bolívar and the Strongest, as well as the country's main national team venue. Located at 3,582 meters above sea level, the stadium has become one of the most controversial football venues in the world because for visiting teams, oxygen itself can be a tougher opponent than the home side. The ground has seen great footballing humiliations of big-name teams, such as Bolivia beating Argentina 6-1 here or Brazil in 1993. Even in the era of modern football, the altitude debate has not faded, famously highlighted in 2017 when pictures of Brazilian players wearing oxygen masks before a match in La Paz went viral. Lhasa Stadium is the only Asian stadium in our ranking, lying at 3,658 meters. It was built as part of an entirely new district, and the stadium itself accommodates 20,000 spectators. The whole project cost roughly 735 million yuan and remains to this day the largest sports complex in Tibet. Architecturally, it is a multi-use stadium distinguished by its irregular roof. But the project goes far beyond the main arena, as the complex also includes a yak museum and a separate pavilion with an indoor hall for 4,000 spectators. Estadio Jesús Bermúdez is a multi-use stadium offering 33,000 spectators, serving mainly football and athletics. Opened in 1955 at 3,715 meters, it was named after Bolivia's first national team goalkeeper. The venue hosted matches of Copa America 1975 and the third-place match of Copa America 1997. Unfortunately, the stadium also entered the record books in a darker context, when a tragic incident involving a Corinthians fan occurred here during a Copa Libertadores match in 2013. In 9th place, we find Estadio Monumental de la Una, whose location alone signals that this is no ordinary city stadium. This academic colossus was built with the whole region in mind and is located at an altitude of 3,817 meters above sea level. The venue belongs to the university and was designed to become the largest stadium in the Puno department, with a capacity most often quoted at around 35,000 spectators. For a long time, only 3 stands were finished, and the lack of a northern stand limited the stadium's real functionality. The ground was also meant to serve as an alternative venue for Binacional, and over time it has started to be used for more than just football. Just as these stadiums reach into the clouds, we're aiming to take this channel higher too. Drop a like if you appreciate the work of our team. Estadio Enrique Torres Belón in the Peruvian city of Puno is a multi-use stadium holding about 20,000 spectators. It is primarily associated with Alfonso Ugarte, but for many years it has hosted a much broader range of events than football alone. Built from stone at 3,823 meters, it is most visible in the city's life through its role in Fiesta de la Candelaria, one of Peru's most important folk festivals, which regularly takes place at the stadium. In 7th place stands Estadio Guillermo Briceño Rosamedina in Juliaca, located as high as 3,825 meters above sea level. The ground opened in 1966, but for a long time was far more modest. It was only a later expansion that raised its capacity to about 20,000 spectators. Today, it is the home of Deportivo Binacional, and the stadium is also distinguished by colorful stands inspired by the patterns of Quechua textiles. 6th place goes to Estadio Modelo de Ilave in Peru's Puno region, a stadium that can hold more than 13,000 spectators. At around 3,850 meters above sea level, it had the altitude for professional football, but not the conditions, as problems with the artificial turf and other logistical issues kept it from hosting Liga 1 or Liga 2 matches. Architecturally, it is a multi-use ground with stands all around the pitch, larger on the long sides and smaller behind the goals, with no roof at all. We jump one floor higher to La Lagua, where Estadio Irineo Pimentel Rojas sits at 3,858 meters above sea level. It is a purely football venue with 4 concrete single-level stands, one of them roofed but modest, offering only limited shelter. None of the stands are fitted with seats. From the outside, the stadium is marked by its blue and white color scheme. The La Lagua ground belongs to the highest-placed full-size football stadiums in Bolivia. 4th place is going to Estadio Victor Agustin Ugarte in Potosi, a multi-use arena now used mainly by the clubs Nacional and Real. The stadium lies at about 3,890 meters above sea level, so it has long been considered one of the most controversial football venues in the world. The ground was originally built in the 1990s, and subsequent expansions transformed it from a rather modest stadium into a large arena. It was then that capacity was increased to 29,000 or more. The stands were enlarged, and the stadium eventually received the name of Victor Agustin Ugarte, one of Bolivia's greatest footballers. Our podium opens with Estadio Manuel Prado in Yauri, the capital of Espinar province in Peru's Cusco region. The stadium stands at around 3,920 meters above sea level and is a multi-use venue with single-tier stands running around almost the entire pitch, except for one end behind the goal. There is no roof at all, which adds to the raw feel of the ground at that altitude. The stadium holds around 15,000 spectators and is used not only for football, but also for Copa Peru matches, youth tournaments, Women's Copa Peru, and cultural events. It is also considered the second highest stadium in Peru ever to host professional football. 2nd place belongs to El Alto Municipal Stadium, also known as Estadio de Villa Ingenio. This multi-use stadium lies in the Bolivian city of El Alto and can hold about 23,000 spectators. It sits at 4,088 meters above sea level. Construction began in December 2013, with the official opening 4 years later. The venue has single-tiered stands, is fully covered, and shows a coherent architectural design. Here, in the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, the Bolivian national team defeated such national sides as Brazil and Colombia. The undisputed winner of this ranking is Estadio Daniel Alcides Carrion in Cerro de Pasco, the stadium that according to FIFA remains the highest-placed football venue in the world. The arena sits at 4,338 meters above sea level and holds 8,000 spectators. The ground was built in the 1960s, and only a later modernization brought artificial turf. In the period when Union Minas played in Peru's top division, the stadium became almost a symbol of extreme home advantage and an unbeaten run at the start of the 1990s. Should national teams be allowed to play at extreme altitudes? The comment section is yours, and that's it from us. For more, follow our social media and visit our website. See you!